Hello and welcome to the Grand Cinema Hotel, a podcast hosted by three friends who love cinema. I'm Nathan and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Gus and Alvaro. Tonight you'll be joining us in the lobby for our horror movie showdown as we vote our way through 64 of the best horror movies ever made. So go ahead, come down to the lobby, grab a snack as we let our May Madness commence. What's going on, all you horror fanatics? Thanks for checking back in the Grand Cinema Hotel. As always, if you're listening on YouTube, smash that like button, leave a little comment. If you're listening on Spotify or any of the other podcast apps, subscribe, hit the notification, so anytime we drop a new video, you know it's coming. But, yeah, just touch all the buttons. You know what it is. Give us a star, give us a heart, whatever it is. But today we have a little something different. We're doing something that we've never done. We are doing a horror movie bracket. Kind of came up with this idea a while ago, honestly, and it's been kind of in the making. So Gus was so kind to provide 64 horror movies and made this bracket. And yeah, we're just going to go through it and work our way down to what we think is the best. Gus, you want to talk about why we're doing this, or?
Yeah, so I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, maybe you guys remember, I'm having a baby. Yeah, claps all around.
Woo!
So, I'm going to be busy for at least 6 to 8 weeks when she's here. So being the dedicated man I am, I wanted to still be able to give you guys a show. So I figured what would be a better idea than to, let's pre-record some episodes. And for a while, we didn't know what we were going to do. We thought, maybe the Harry Potter movies, because there's a bunch of those. And we all seem to really like those, at least to varying degrees. But then we thought about, what about horror? Because, one of our listeners had mentioned before that it'd be cool if we took a good chunk of time to do horror. So what we're trying to do today is figure out which 6 to 8 movies we're going to talk about. I think we should crown a winner today so we don't drag it out for another episode. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think a lot of feelings are going to get hurt here. I feel like some of us will probably not be happy.
Somebody's going to cry.
The listeners, too. I mean, maybe your favorite movie is not even on this list.
Yeah.
There's certain exclusions like The Shining. Come on, that's getting its own room. We already know which number. You won't see Hereditary or Midsommar on this list because those are reserved for when Ari Aster's movie comes out.
Any Jordan Peele's movies are also being saved.
Exactly.
No sci-fi.
Yeah, we
no
booted
sci-fi.
So
Yeah,
sorry,
no
but
no
Alien's not here.
No the thing.
Not because we don't like them, but because we like sci-fi so much, we're trying to probably hold it
Those
off.
don't need to be in a contest.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We already know what we're doing.
They're getting their episodes.
All right, so you guys want to get this started?
Yeah, let's
You
hop
guys
into
excited
it.
for this?
I'm very
Let's
excited.
go.
Honestly, I'm super excited because I feel like horror is a genre that we all kind of bonded over in the beginning anyways. It is.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out and say it's all of our favorite necessarily.
I was just going to say that.
But it's one that I think is we all hold really close and dear to our hearts.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, horror is the most quote unquote cinema when I think of movies. I feel like horror can entail and have anything in it, and that's what makes it such a broad genre. And I think there's a little bit of something for everybody in all types of different horror movies. So I don't know. I think horror is my favorite genre, Ro.
Sci-fi, but horror is like second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mute him.
I teeter back and forth, but horror probably has the most movies in its genre that I consider to be my favorite. So
Although you like sci-fi more, do you think that there is a bigger amount of horror movies that are better than sci-fi overall?
No, because Shudder exists.
So what, Shudder sucks?
Shudder, all of those are horror movies I've never heard of, and all of those are not very good horror movies.
Well, how do you know if you never heard of them?
They're on Shudder for a reason.
Shudder got astray.
Damn.
I'm just saying I've been
Mandy
on the,
or Shudder, Mandy original.
I've been on the app. I'm just saying there's a lot more horror movies, like B-rated horror movies that are bad.
You could say the same thing about sci-fi, though.
But they just there are not that many sci-fi because you have to have pretty decent at least a pretty decent budget to try to even attempt sci-fi.
All right, I'm already upset. Let's just move on. Where do we want to start here? We have we have 2 brackets on the left, 2 brackets on the right.
Top left. Start from the
Top left?
beginning.
Okay, so we have we have a couple number 1 seeds. So I feel like some of these movies are kind of going to get they're lambs to the slaughter, you
Yeah.
know? But it is what it is. We had to do it.
Everybody has to make a sacrifice.
So we're going to start with the first, maybe the most famous horror movie of all time. Maybe, quote unquote, the scariest horror movie of all time. I feel like that time is past, but we got The Exorcist.
Yup. Versus Fear Street. Wah, wah, wah. I think I can go out on a limb here and probably say that I vote for The Exorcist.
Even though Fear Street even has the trilogy too, you could throw the whole trilogy in there. Yeah, I just catch it straight. It's The Exorcist wins.
All right, that's a quick one. Some of these are going to be quick. Some of these are a little harder to decide, but that's an easy one. Sorry. I think we'll get into more detail, maybe the deeper we go into the bracket. Also, since some of these are going to get their own episode, I don't really think there's a need for us to describe them.
I'm about to go on like a 30-minute talk about The Exorcist, so yes, no.
We can save that if there is an Exorcist
exactly.
episode. Okay, so The Exorcist.
Exorcist has made
It's
it on
going
to the
against Fear
next.
Street, and Exorcist wins, obviously.
Death to Fear Street.
Okay.
On to the next, we have Night of the Living Dead, a classic, versus The Descent, a mid-2000s banger.
Okay, we'll try to be quick here. I'm going to go The Descent.
I also vote The Descent. I
Sorry,
really do.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Descent.
That movie is just something else.
We don't really have time to defend ourselves today, but I mean, I prefer that movie. I'd watch that movie more times. I understand the weight and the gravitas and all of that of Night of the Living Dead, but for my own preference, I would rather watch The Descent.
I genuinely think The Descent is terrifying. I still do. So,
Okay, moving on. We have, this is interesting, The Sixth Sense versus Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
I watched Nosferatu for this. I thought it was dog shit. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna hold back on that one. What do you guys think here?
What do you think, Ro?
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so too.
Sixth Sense.
That's honestly probably M. Night Shyamalan's best.
Yeah, that or Signs. Do you like Signs?
I do
more?
like Signs. Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
Sci-fi, stay off.
Definitely not old, right?
Stay off our bracket.
Okay, and this is another interesting one.
This
We have
is
a
interesting.
70s showdown. Well, damn, is Rosemary's Baby a 60s movie?
It might-
is a
it's
60s
late
movie,
60s, I
actually.
think.
I'm thinking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
When Leo's like, the director of Rosemary's Baby's living next door to me. Rosemary's Baby, Deep Red.
He's like, fuck Roman Polanski.
That's how I feel, but Rosemary's Baby is incredible.
It's
so
one of the scariest movies.
my vote goes to Rosemary's,
Rosemary's
Baby.
Baby.
You fuck you, Polanski. God damn it.
What are you gonna say next? Your favorite movies? Fucking Annie Hall. Okay.
Don't bring that up on the pod.
Okay, this is another interesting one because I do think that these. Oh, sorry.
No, did we say it was just Deep Red?
Which movie is Deep Red?
No, did we say it was going against Deep Red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dario Argento's Deep Red.
Which is a fantastic movie as well, and it's on Shudder. So that's one of those. That is where a majority of Dario Argento's filmography is actually on. So if you want to subscribe to Shudder, I think it's worth it. The next round is Audition versus Climax.
I'm not gonna lie, Audition is one of the ones that I have not seen, and I feel so strongly that Climax is really fucked up, and it put me in a very bad headspace. So I'm gonna go with Climax.
Yeah, I am as well. I think that even maybe if you think it's not as terrifying, I just think the filmmaking involved in that movie, like that level of choreography with that like 15-20 minute dance scene, which is probably even longer, honestly. That movie is like a living nightmare to me. That's how I think of Climax.
It's extremely anxiety inducing, and yeah, dude, that movie's a lot.
I feel like when I was like a 15-year-old introvert who didn't really have that many friends, that I thought Climax would happen to me if I went to a party. I can't get drunk. The plot of Climax might happen to me.
It is based on true stories.
yeah, scary.
We have another interesting one after this. Insidious versus Child's Play.
That's really tough. I haven't seen Child's Play in a long time. I remember it being really scary. I don't know.
It's one of my first horror experiences. Chucky was one of the very first things I was scared of for way longer than I probably should have been too.
Yeah, honestly, I think my vote probably goes to Child's Play.
Oof.
What do you think?
I'm gonna go Insidious. I
Okay.
do think it's actually scarier. So, Ro, you have the tiebreaker on this one.
Insidious.
Insidious it is. He
Okay.
put his soul in a dog.
I don't know. I just feel like not to hold the rest of the movies against the series, like the individual one, but Chucky comes off more as like comedic, the same way like Nightmare on Elm Street does. The older you get, where you're like,
It is pretty campy. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember it scaring me. All right. Next.
I think this is two all-time classics that are on just totally different scales because I watched these movies for the first time this weekend. We have 1981's Possession, which is probably one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen, and the original Frankenstein,
Frankenstein.
which I do think holds up like unbelievably well. And I mean, honestly, it's incredible. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that, but I think the original Frankenstein really, really, really holds up. It's probably the best of the original monster movies, but I am going to pick Possession.
I was going to say, after you said all that, I'm going to shit on it and pick Possession.
Oh, yeah, it's Possession.
Yeah, Possession moves on. Sorry, Frankenstein.
No, yeah. I mean, Frankenstein is sick and all, but it doesn't have that subway scene from Possession.
It's not Hereditary on crack. Yeah. For sure.
This.
Oh, boy.
Ooh,
funny.
here comes my dark horse for who could win the whole thing. So in the next round, we have Malignant versus Scream.
Scream is obviously, it's a classic. It's honestly it's an interesting version of horror, I
You're gonna
guess.
take time to defend this.
You know what I mean?
Which one you guys are gonna
Well, I'm
pick.
going to say Malignant because it's one of the best horror movies I've ever seen.
I'm like that meme of Kurt Russell from Death Proof where he's smoking and he's like looking up all cool. It's like, fuck it, let's watch Malignant. Malignant is fucking sick. That's all I'm going to say about that as we move on. Okay, so that's actually the first bracket. So we're doing pretty good time-wise here. That only took, with the intro and everything, we're 11 minutes in.
Those are some good-ass movies right there.
I know.
can't
From
even
here on, I'm
lie.
like, ooh, this is where things are really going to
Yep.
get tough. What bracket do you guys want to go to next? So we have them where the number one seed in the top right bracket is Psycho. And in the bottom right, we have The Thing. And then on the bottom left, we have Silence of the Lambs. So it's really where I'll let you guys decide where you want to go from here.
Where you want to go?
Let's go across.
Across?
Across, up, or down?
To top, yeah.
Okay, so we're in the Psycho bracket. So in the first, our first round here, we have Psycho versus Constantine.
I mean, Constantine's awesome, but it's Psycho.
I was like, please do not, Nate, not now.
It's Psycho.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good one too. I really like this one. I think this one we have an Italian movie versus a French movie here. Oh, monsieur.
This is what I have. It's Raw versus Blood and Black Lace, and I have not seen Blood and Black Lace, and I actually
I have, and so has Ro, but I'm still gonna pick Raw.
I will say, yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason Gus has said that Julia Ducournau is on the top of our favorite directors of the podcast.
Mount Rushmore.
So it's not really Blood and Black Lace is worth the watch for sure, but it doesn't hold.
You
the
know,
candle
Blood
to
and
Raw.
Black Lace isn't the only movie on here that is this type of movie.
No, it's not.
So it's like something down the line is probably going to get its revenge.
What kind of
for
sucks
it.
is that all of these might catch a stray because although we like them, they don't really. They're Italian giallo, so they kind of are limited.
They're
in
a little
terms of
dime a
horror.
dozen. That was
Yeah.
another reason why I wasn't so upset about Deep Red not making it through. But giallo horrors are one of my favorite
Yes.
subgenres of horror. Give me black gloves. Give me a knife. Give me hands breaking through a window, and I'm happy.
So that's why it
and
was-
cool music too.
It's cool that you threw it on here at least to just bring up to the discussion. You know?
Honestly, do you feel like most of these movies on here you wouldn't mind doing an episode on?
No.
all these, no, all
that's
these
how
are
I
pretty
feel
good,
too.
yeah.
It's just like, we had to pick a few. Don't be surprised if we end up doing all of these one day. Next round, two classics, but although we're not going with the original, well, I don't think we are.
No,
right?
I would go with the
We're
new
going
one,
with the
yeah.
new one. Okay, so Invisible Man versus the classic, which is John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yup. I'm gonna give it to Halloween.
Just the classic.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's score.
I mean,
To me, that is like one of the OG like monster movies that really is actually creepy and scary and holds up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm a roll with Halloween.
I feel this. I do think that Michael Myers is probably the most iconic of all the slasher villains that we have. I think he's the only one that actually holds up and is. like reusable, I would say. Even though, god damn, they've beat this franchise to death.
For
right?
real.
Yeah.
So,
And Invisible Man is good. Elizabeth Moss is
yeah,
good in that movie.
I
but
do really like that movie.
It was a cool take on the old trope, but
So this is an interesting one. I do think this movie needs some clarification for why it's on this list, but The Night of the Hunter versus Friday the 13th.
I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
Do you want to go first, Ro?
Okay, well, The Night of the Hunter we threw on here because, I mean, some of our favorite directors have talked about how inspirational it is. I mean, we watched it, and it's arguable to some that it's a horror movie. It is more of like a dark fairy tale.
It's a thriller for
For
sure.
sure, yeah.
But is it a thriller that has enough qualifications to count as a horror?
I think you did an off pod before we started. You did a good job talking about it. Like, it has horror scenes in it. Like,
It has a
there's
lot
imagery.
of elements in the imagery, yes.
Yes.
I think that it's inspired so much that it deserves the title. But what I also said off pod was that because it's from the 50s, if it had been from like the 30s or the 40s, I think I'd give it more leeway of like, oh, this is terrifying. But I mean, Friday the 13th is iconic, but I'm honestly not a fan.
What I
don't
will
really like
what
the
I will
Friday.
say is like about the Night of the Hunter is that the ambiance is better than any like horror movies. Like the whole
It's unsettling throughout.
the whole time, yeah. Like the whole time you are pretty scared, but it's not like there isn't the guy with the mask around. It's different.
Yeah. That's why with it being older, I'm like, if maybe this is pre the idea of serial killers wearing masks. You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
it being like an entity. Even though Robert Mitchum's character is like this.
yeah.
He is a horror character, but I don't know if he's in a horror movie.
Exactly.
But you know, hey, Roger Ebert says that this is one of the most like underrated horror movies of all time. That he sees it as a horror. Well, he saw it as a
Exactly.
horror movie.
That's what, like it's arguable. So we threw it on here obviously to pay its respects. But the thing is, it's a really, really good movie. Really, really good movie.
And Friday the 13th is very much not a good movie.
No.
No.
And I think you brought up a good point that we don't get Jason till the third one anyways, and we're not putting it up against the third one in this one. So I mean, if Jason is what you really like from the Friday the 13th, like we're not even including that one.
It sounds like it's Night of the Hunter.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Sheesh.
Adios, first round. He
Our
got
snobbiness
booted.
really came through on that one. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you know what though?
Sorry, thrillers.
Sorry, yeah, like I don't even know if Night of the Hunter will probably make
Or
it past
Slasher,
the next
sorry.
round.
Yeah.
Hey, do better is all I'll say. This is a good one as well.
This
We
is a
have
fun
the
one.
Suspiria, the new one.
The new one.
Well, newish now. And 28 Days Later, our first zombie flick on the list.
It really is one of my favorite zombie movies. Like, that's a really fucking good movie. But, in my personal opinion, that Suspiria movie is fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
that movie is gnarly. And I honestly hesitated on watching it for a long time until Ro and I started hanging out. Because I really do like the original Dario Argento one. But then just seeing, the scene and then the end. Oh, my God, dude.
The original
Suspiria.
one is I like how when we first watched it, or I think you watched it first and then I watched it and we talked about it. Like, there's just color in there for no reason.
I was going to say that the old one is so much more vibey and aesthetic, and it's like, it's tight.
It's
like a
beautiful,
cinematographer-
honestly.
It's cinematographer's dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's movies to like on 100. You know what I mean? And where the new one gets rid of all of that, it amps up the horror and all that other shit to the highest degree. I mean, that scene of the girl getting twisted
It's like
up
some of
like
the
a pretzel
gnarliest
and
body
pissing
horror
her
I've ever
pants.
seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Body
Suspiria. I mean, it's on this Suspiria is probably one of my 10 to 15 favorite horror movies
Yes.
of all time. Next round, I think we have another is it not horror versus something that's
Yes.
so obviously horror, which we have the first Saw and Killing of a Sacred Deer by Yorgos Lanthimos.
That's really tough.
So, Saw, we don't even have to say that that's horror. That's self-explanatory. Probably every person listening to this has either seen it, and if you haven't, it's probably because you're avoiding it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 8 of them. You haven't seen one of them?
The first one, do you guys think the first one's the best one?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I mean,
seen all
honestly, I
8,
kind of
but are
checked out
arguable.
after that. I've seen like 1 through 4, but I couldn't tell you anything.
The premise isn't enough for me to be like, oh, I want to see 8 more of it.
Yeah,
Like,
it turned into a bunch
first
of
one
a
did.
gore fest.
Jigsaw, all that stuff was cool.
All right, so but Killing of a Sacred Deer, to you guys, does it have enough elements to push it through?
The movie's extremely disturbing.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing.
It
I feel
has
like I lean into it more as a thriller, I think, but
The bloody eye scene with what's the kid from mid '90s? That actor's name.
Oh, Sonny Soljic.
Yeah, he has those like the bloody eyes coming out. Oh man,
I mean,
that's hard.
there's a curse put on them.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, so it is
Yes.
a horror.
I'm gonna go with yes.
So, which one do you guys want to go here? Because the original Saw is iconic.
I know. My vote is for Saw.
Okay, bro.
You can go Saw.
All right.
Saw movie. Damn, that's
Just
a
Saw's
tough
really
one.
iconic.
That's a
you
tough
know?
one.
Jigsaw, bro. I feel like before he was memed on, that was like legitimately.
That's a scary ass movie. Yeah, and the reveal at the end and everything. Like, shoot.
So so this next one, woo! Who would have thought he would make it on this list? Good old Johnny Depp. Johnny, yes, Papa. Woo!
Sweeney Todd. No, I'm just kidding.
You could hit up Nate for an individual episode on that.
I'll sing you
So
the song.
I put this on there because I know you guys really like this movie. I saw this as a kid in the theater. It was one of those movies where I basically leaned on my mom's shoulder and watched it with one eye the entire time. But the older I've gotten, I do not really care for this movie. And it's going against another iconic movie, which is Hellraiser.
Clive Barker's Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Shoot. The way that I feel, I mean, Sleepy Hollow, I really do enjoy that movie. I still have a soft spot in my heart for it. But that is more of a, I'm going to watch this on a Saturday morning kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then Hellraiser is, I saw that movie as a kid too. And that was one of the first movies that I watched by myself where I was like, I don't think I should be watching this.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it recently too, and it slaps.
I don't think I should be watching this.
Not much has
You're almost
changed.
at 30.
Going back to video store days, dude, I used to pick up Hellraiser on VHS and just look at it and never have the balls.
That
to
was
ask my
enough.
dad to rent it. Where I'm
Nope,
like, you know
Mom.
what, this is nah, dog. Be like, I'm good on this because my dad would pretty much rent anything. But Hellraiser was one that I stayed away from until I was an adult.
No, I think Clive Barker gets a dub on this one.
That movie is sick as fuck.
Yeah.
The Headless Horseman is cool, but
Man,
the
fuck
pleasure to
Ichabod
the
Crane.
pleasure to the flesh is the shit.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man. Okay, so moving on. I think these next two actually, to me, they exist within the same like sphere of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Carrie, the original, and It Follows. To me, they feel very similar.
They do.
And I'm gonna go with It Follows, but Carrie is a pretty banger fucking movie as well.
I think Carrie's sick. I love It Follows. I really do. So my vote's It Follows.
Bro,
Yeah, it follows.
you don't look happy about this.
It's a tough
Or is
one.
it just that it's so tough?
I don't remember it follows. I've only seen it once, and then
How
I
could you
only
not
see-
remember an STD
and then I
monster
can remember.
chasing
I
you?
know.
I can remember Carrie just because it's
Do you remember Carrie the movie or do you remember the scene?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I do remember most of the movie and the scene, but It Follows I don't. But I mean, it's cool with me, man.
Doesn't sound like it.
Not tripping, not tripping on it, man. It's gonna go against Hellraiser, so both of these, in my terms, are gonna lose to Hellraiser. So it's really not that.
Woof.
All right. Well,
All right, so that's
that bracket.
That's our top right bracket. So let's just give you guys a reminder. At this point, on the left we have Exorcist, Descent, Sixth Sense, Rosemary's Baby, Climax, Insidious, Possession, Malignant. And then on the right, on the top right, we have Psycho, Raw, Halloween, The Night of the Hunter. What the fuck? Suspiria, Saw, Hellraiser, and It Follows.
Yep.
So, Nate, you pick the next.
Let's
side.
go bottom left.
Okay, bottom left. Woo-hoo-hoo.
That's a banger.
This is the Silence of the Lambs bracket.
Yup. Damn.
Come on.
Come on.
It's called the bracket for that.
And Silence of the Lamb is going against Room 1408, which I haven't seen since I was probably like 12.
Yeah.
I remember it being pretty cool. Stephen King and
I'm
everything.
a huge fan of Room 1408, but I'm not even
But-
gonna pretend that it has.
I don't think it
When
holds
was
a
the last time
candle.
you watched it?
Room 1408. I probably watch that movie like every 3 years or so whenever I see it
still
because I
pretty good,
like
is it?
John Cusack. No, I mean, I don't know about good.
No, but
but
like decently enough where you could
For
watch
me,
it.
yes.
It keeps like,
Yes.
you know. I mean, what is it now? Like at least like 12 years old.
I saw that movie when I was like in middle school.
2007, I'm thinking. So I mean, most of those movies don't hold up. So I mean, you do
You
keep
know what it
watching
is? Is that it's like the movie keeps going way longer than it should.
When it should have stopped.
Because it's like,
yeah.
oh, it's real. Oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it is. Oh, shit, it's not. But it actually is.
You know what is real though? It's Silence of the Lambs.
You know, we actually, when we put this list together, we were like, do we put Silence of the Lambs on here? But I mean, Hannibal Lecter is probably one of the most terrifying images in all of movies. So I think that this is a horror movie.
I think so,
for,
too.
For the character of Clarice, this is a horror movie.
Some scary shit, dude.
I mean, maybe for us as an audience, it seems like it's more of a thriller. But if you were in this position, I mean, this is about as horror as it can get.
This is like a real life horror movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no devils, there's no specters, but this shit is fucked up.
a really smart cannibal.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, we already know.
yeah.
We spent too much time talking about that.
All right, on to the next one. We have the OG Wicker Man, not the Nick Cage Wicker Man, the Beast, and the versus Gremlins.
This is probably. I'm looking at what we have left, and I think Gremlins is the closest thing we have to like a kids horror movie, right?
Which is Gremlins is a movie that I watch probably every couple years. So I love Gremlins.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You know, I'm going the Wicker Man because I just do not like Gremlins. I think it kind of blows. But what do you guys? I mean, it's up to you guys here at this point. Whatever you two say.
The Wicker Man's a better movie, even though I like the Gremlins.
I think so too. The Wicker Man that's a really good movie. Very
movie-
unsettling.
Influential.
But-
OG Hereditary or OG Midsummer.
But Gremlins is so much fun. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, I did think it was important to
OG
include it
Midsommar,
on here.
for real.
I mean, fuck, they have a May Queen and a Maypole, dude. Come on. And the island is gorgeous in the original Wicker Man. Okay, so moving on, we have Christine and the Others.
That's a good one, dude.
So I think Christine is a lot like more fun. It's 80s trash. I mean, a car comes to life and is running people over.
Got some really cool scenes in it.
Titan?
Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
exactly.
When I rewatched Christine for this, I was like, I need to see a death battle between Christine the car and Flame Daddy Cadillac from
the
Titan.
Teton car. That's so funny.
The Others, I fucking love this movie.
I do
think this
too.
is one of Nicole Kidman's best roles that she's ever done. I think this is a terrifying movie. This is one of the very first DVDs we ever
Yeah.
owned. So I saw this movie hella times. And the twist, I'm not going to give away what the twist is, but I think the twist to me was probably one of the most shocking things I'd seen in my life.
I saw that movie in theaters, and after I seen it, I think we probably watched that at like a friend's like movie night in high school and stuff, like once a year for a while. Like I've really liked that movie, so
I'm going to go the other.
I'm gonna go the others as well.
Okay. I mean, Christine, respect. Christine is so weird. I do believe Christine is on Netflix. So if you guys haven't seen that, trust me, you want to check that out for sure. And unless I'm wrong, please don't take my cinephile card here. That Christine is directed by John Carpenter, no? I always get mixed up.
I'm honestly not sure.
Is it Brian De Palma or John Carpenter? And it is... Okay, it's John Carpenter. So you know what? I don't feel as bad because John Carpenter is on this list multiple times already. So, you know, Christine is not his best, but we are talking about the master here.
All right, now we have American Werewolf in London versus Don't Look Now. What you think?
Okay, I obviously Don't Look Now is a way better movie, but I'm going to American Werewolf in
I am
London.
too. I love that movie so much. That movie's got it all.
And then keeping up with the wolfiness, we have The Wolfman versus Jeepers Creepers.
Shoot, dude. What you think, bro?
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Even though the Wolfman is more iconic.
Yeah, dude, Jeepers Creepers is fucking scary.
Yes.
Like that
You
guy
had to be
is
there. You
mad.
had
You
to
had
be
to
there.
be
Yeah. Jeepers Creepers. The amount of nightmares I had because
Yeah.
of this movie.
Dude, the van, the guy, everything. That is a scary movie. I even enjoyed the second one too.
A
That's like the
monster
bus.
driving a truck.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
just picking up people and sewing them to his
And then
walls.
at the end of the first one, when it ends with him just looking through the wall with his eye. And I thought about that like for a long time. And yeah, I really like the second one.
And anytime you hear that song, that's the first thing that I think
Yep.
of. You know what I mean?
Those people.
What the fuck?
Okay.
That's Justin Long in the first one, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, man. What an intro.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, I feel like that was probably an intro.
The Apple guy.
Woo, you just dated us, dude. Any Zoomer listening to this is like, what the fuck is he talking about?
The Apple guy, dude. Wow.
Are you Mac or PC?
Macintosh.
Yeah. Oh boy, what a time.
Damn.
I miss when the Macs had the colored backs.
Mhm.
Those were so sick. They should bring that icy color aesthetic
The
back to things.
swaggy shirts that they used to drop with those little, the colored apples.
They used to do
To have
it
all those tech labs, yeah.
This
all
ain't
those
okay.
tech
This ain't a tech pod. This ain't a tech pod.
Yeah, anyways. Justin Long.
Going up next, I think this is going to be an interesting one. The Brood, David Cronenberg's 70s flick versus Sinister.
All right, dude.
Cool concept, Sinister.
Yeah.
A demon that makes home movies.
Yeah, I actually watched The Brood for this. I'd never seen it, liked it, but Sinister. Like I think Sinister is terrifying. Those home movies are some of the scariest things I think that are in some movies. So I don't know. I love Sinister.
All right. Well, so we're gonna go Sinister then.
What do you think?
Well, Ro, do you have a preference here? No.
Sinister, no.
Whatever. Let's just go Sinister.
Sinister. The Brood's really cool though.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it holds up as great as maybe it should, but
Woo-hoo! We have our.
Oh,
this isn't even going to
bruh.
be an argument here, but Zack Snyder makes his way onto the list.
welcome
Wow. Okay.
and goodbye. No.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck out of here.
The Wailing versus Dawn of the Dead.
This I honestly don't think it's really a competition. I think The Wailing is probably the best South Korean horror movie I've ever seen.
Facts.
Which also probably means it might be one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. 'Cause South Korean cinema goes crazy. So
It's probably one of the best movies.
yeah,
I've
it
seen,
really
yeah,
is.
agreed.
Dawn of the Dead's tight, but
Yes.
That's
and
a
it's
cool
probably
movie.
Zack Snyder's best movie as
agreed.
well.
That's fun, but The Wailing's fucked up.
Is this and this next bracket that's coming up? Is this our second European horror film?
I don't know. Well, no, because Deep Red,
Climax.
Okay.
Climax. You know.
The first Estonian.
Yes, the first.
This is honestly this right here, this matchup. So now we have Misery versus November, which is really fucking hard for me because
You know,
I
this is
love
going to be
both
hard
those
for
movies.
us, but it isn't going to be hard for most people because most people are going to be like, "What the fuck is November?"
November.
Yeah.
November is an Estonian folk horror movie, which I love, dude. I found this movie during quarantine, during COVID, and showed you guys, and I think you guys kind of loved it too.
Yeah.
But very unique. But
What
then
kind of
Misery.
cock-a-doodie list is this if Misery is not making it far to the bracket?
November though was one of the movies when we first talked about starting the pod that we were like, it might get its episode. So
Do you know Paul Sheldon?
do know Paul Sheldon, and then, I agree. This is, I mean, come on.
All right, what do you vote for?
Misery.
All right. All right, fine. All right, fucking fine.
James Caan from Thief, The Godfather.
What do you
Kathy
vote for?
Bates?
Misery. No, fuck. Fine. Well, I vote November, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, November-
It doesn't matter what you vote, but
November
holds it.
is very cool. I honestly
Yeah.
think most people should check that movie out. It's a fairy tale from a book brought to the screen, right? And I think it's got a lot of interesting components, but Misery is just
you're right.
terrifying.
It is.
Dude, the scene when she re-breaks his ankles to keep him in the wheelchair.
That's too much.
When I think of that in my head, I'm like, ugh. Okay, so we're on to the last bracket of the first round, and this is the Thing bracket.
This takes us to our first rhyme of the day. The Thing
in the
versus the Ring.
Yeah.
And you know, we talked about this. The Thing is probably the closest sci-fi we have on here. Mm-hmm. But I think it leans more towards the horror than it does the sci-fi.
I think it gets to pass the same way like Silence of the Lambs gets a pass for being a thriller. You know what I mean? Yeah. The way that it's a sci-fi, the way that that's a thriller.
Because I agree with Gus. The concept of what's going on is pretty sci-fi, but I think it is more horror, definitely.
The movie, as it progresses, isn't really worried about the sci-fi elements.
It's more about distrust than anything, you know what I mean, and paranoia. But
The Thing is a pressure cooker.
Yeah, but it's The Thing. Sorry, The Ring. You were dope, but
The Ring does not hold up either. And is it unfair to say that? No, not really, because it's going against a movie from the 80s, and The Ring is from the 2000s.
Oh my God. Jesus. I mean, sorry to cut you off. I was just looking at the next one already, which is Final Destination and Ready or Not.
That's tough. Ooh. Those are both really fun horror movies. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Fun?
Yeah. Well, for the audience, sir.
I don't know about you, but Final Destination has made me scared of everything.
I mean, Final Destination, I like the first. I think 2 and 3 are the best ones, but the original one is really good too. Ready or Not, when I watched it a couple months ago, I think, or last year, definitely took me out of surprise. I actually really like that movie. Mm-hmm. Comedic. Final Destination isn't comedic. It really depends what route you guys want to go.
You know, I would say some people probably do think Final Destination is unintentionally funny.
That shit makes me laugh. Well, especially the later ones. Those ones make me laugh, dude.
But those definitely are leaning into the comedy aspect of it. But, dude, Final Destination, I mean, I think the way that concept is able to just make tension. The movie is tension.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, that movie is responsible for me being paranoid anytime I'm driving behind, like, a big load truck. Like, anytime, you know what I mean? So...
That's the second one, though.
Well, whatever.
But the whole trilogy.
You know what I mean.
I guess that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but we didn't use we didn't use that for Fear Street.
I did.
The trilogy?
I did. It doesn't mean shit. The same here.
I'm going Final Destination.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I do think it's scarier.
Yes.
Even though Ready or Not definitely is a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool movie.
Okay, so fuck. Final Dest.
This next one's a bitch too.
For me, it's not.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I'm going. Well, I think I'm gonna be.
It's
between here.
It's between Evil Dead and Poltergeist. So
okay, so I hated Poltergeist the very first time I watched it. I don't know if I was having a bad day, if I smoked one too many. Sometimes a movie just does not hit for me the very first time I watched it. But I rewatched Poltergeist the other day, and maybe it's because I'm a little older, maybe it's because I'm starting a family. But Poltergeist has jumped up to being one of my tippy top favorite horror movies of all time. Like, you know, arguably it's directed by Steven Spielberg. There's a lot of hearsay if he did, if he didn't. It's because he was making E.T. at the same time, and he wasn't allowed to be directing 2 movies. So contractually, Tobe Hooper directed it, but Poltergeist has it all, man. And, you know, Insidious was on this list, and it made it past the first round. And Insidious is just a worst version of Poltergeist.
What do you think? Poltergeist? I think Poltergeist too.
Yeah, Evil Dead, you know, maybe if it was Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The cuteness and the amateurness of like, wow, the Evil Dead, you won't believe it's just some friends who made it. I'm sorry. Poltergeist is just so much scarier.
It's a classic.
I think it's a classic. And I remember I saw the remake too, and it's just a shot-for-shot remake. So, I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's just... but it holds up very well.
Okay, Nate, this one has you written all over it. Our next round is Candyman.
These are my favorites. These are some of my... The new Hills Have Eyes, not the fucking original, all right?
Well, new. We're talking about like 2005
yeah,
now.
Exactly. You know what I mean.
You know, I'm surprised there isn't another new Hills Have Eyes.
Give it 2 years. But
I'm going Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah, Candyman's cool, but Hills Have Eyes is genuinely fucking terrifying.
Hills Have Eyes is one of the... first, well, maybe probably one of the last times I was so scared I ran out of the theater as a child.
Oh, you saw that in the theater?
Yeah, because my parents, love you guys, but you guys made some horrible decisions movie making wise of what was okay to see.
I watched that with my dad when I was young at home, and it fucked me up, dude.
Dude.
That's a good
Can
one.
you play with me, mister?
Stop it!
It's disgusting. It's terrifying.
This is the one I've honestly probably been the most curious for.
Yeah. So, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, so we have 2 totally different types of horror movies. We have It. Are we doing this 1 and 2 or just It Part 1? Doesn't matter. I'm just going to say Part 1. and Saint.
Part 1 is better.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it's going against Saint Maud.
This is hard because us, the supposed champions of independent cinema,
I know,
versus the biggest of dogs, the big dog. This is a horror epic.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know how many horror epics I would say exist, but I think it fills that definition.
It's crazy. Like, I know people that don't read or watch movies or like horror, but
Only
they've
drink
seen
soda.
it. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, they've read it, they've seen it. Like, this is the one that they know. Fuck. But I do have to say that I think Saint Maud is really good, and it has an incredible ending. But I'm gonna go it.
You know, Saint Maud, just like in the movie, you're gonna have to be a martyr for something greater than yourself.
You just got toasted.
Probably get our own episode.
The amount of Pennywise Funko Pops in this living room is telling you everything you need to know about which one I'm picking, because there's like 3 or 4 in here. I'm sorry, man. It is just like you got to.
It's Pennywise.
I mean, I feel comfortable in saying that this new one totally trumps the original TV series.
I think
right?
so. The one Tim Curry, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it took something that people were terrified of, and I think it actually made it scary.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Tim Curry was a really good Pennywise.
Yeah.
That's an acting thing. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, you could put Tim, if Tim Curry could have been in these new ones, I'm sure he would have gave just as good of a performance. But yeah, it has got to move on. It's too big.
It is.
It's like Dune, but horror. You get me?
No,
Where I'm
no,
like,
it
it's
is.
that big.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Which takes us to The Babadook versus Let the Right One In.
Did you guys get a chance to watch Let the Right One?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
So Oscar, the kid from Let the Right One In, is what my sleep paralysis demons are made of.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to sound like a jerk here, but that kid looked like he deserved to get bullied.
Poor kid.
The Babadook.
I really like both these movies. Which is funny because the first time I saw The Babadook, I fucking hated it. I hated that movie. And then I rewatched it probably like
The single mother horror movie.
6 months later, and I really enjoyed it. So,
I mean, I feel like The Babadook is pretty iconic already
no, I think so.
in its time. For being, what, maybe not even 10 years old yet?
No, not even.
I feel like The Babadook has really shot into the higher ends of like the horror pantheon.
Yep. I will quote the latest Scream and say I still prefer the Babadook.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to The Babadook. Let the Right One In is really good, but
I've not seen the remake with Matt Reeves. Have you guys?
yeah, I think I like.
It's Let Me In.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
I've seen them both. I think I actually like the original one better. I think the original one kind of creeps me out a little bit more.
But they're pretty.
Not
They're
surprised.
pretty.
Matt Reeves
They're
out
very
there.
similar. Yeah, they're very similar.
This is okay. I know we've been saying this is interesting. This is a tough one, but I really do think that this is like this is tough. We have Nightmare on Elm Street. Ooh, Johnny Depp making his second appearance, dude. Johnny
You've been
gets Papa.
in the media a lot, huh?
Oh man,
So we have Nightmare on Elm Street versus Train to Busan.
I'm going Train to Busan.
I'm going Train to Busan.
TTB, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Freddy.
Freddy is my favorite iconic of the slasher characters, but the Train to Busan is a better movie, that's for sure.
I didn't make it to the second round, bitch.
Exactly. No, Train to Busan. That's a great movie.
You're not Michael Myers.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't seem like we have not fucking that we don't like slasher movies, but it is what it is, man. Some of these are not as good as these other ones that I would say are like quote unquote more elevated.
Bro, you
or
want a
just cooler
slasher? You watch
concepts.
Malignant. We pushed it through, okay?
Oh my god, I am noticing, guys. We've left off probably one of the most important horror movies of all time.
What is it?
There's no Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, that's getting its own episode. Don't
Yeah,
trip,
I'm like,
don't
I'm
trip.
not even worried about it.
You know what? That's getting its own.
You mean
But-
the new one?
Yeah. It's on Netflix. Is it?
Probably
Okay.
should be on Shudder.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is the last matchup for the first round. This is the empty motherfucking man versus Black Christmas.
The Empty Man.
The
I would-
original
yeah.
one. Yeah, it's not even close.
Go on record now. Empty Man's going last 8 for me.
I wouldn't want to offend him anyways.
Yeah. Wait, do you guys know about the Empty Man? I want to take some time.
You guys have a few hours to spare, so I can talk to you about the Empty Man.
Okay. Second round.
Second round.
So we'll just same
Yeah.
same
just
order.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exorcist versus The Descent. The
Fuck!
Exorcist.
Oh God! Yeah, no, it's true.
Okay. Sixth Sense. Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Okay. Climax. Insidious.
A climax. I give it to climax.
This is gonna get easier. I feel like the deeper we go into it.
Until we're down to like the final
Possession,
8.
Malignant.
Bruh.
Whoa!
I vote Malignant.
Don't put this on me.
If they vote Malignant, that's on them, man. Like, but come on.
Oh fuck, dude. Fuck it, we ride. Malignant.
Oh my God, we did it. No way. All right. You haven't seen it, Ro, have you?
Nope.
Oh, well, you're going to fall in love with it. All right, then what? We got
Silence of the Lambs, Wicker Man.
Silence of the Lambs.
The Others, American Werewolf.
American Werewolf.
Yeah, I think it's cool that we can have a comedy make it that far.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jeepers Creepers, Sinister.
I'm going to go Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
What do you think? You like Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That works for me. The Wailing or Misery.
What the? I'm going to go The Wailing, dude.
Wailing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a perfect movie in my
Okay.
opinion. The
I mean,
Wailing.
we're going in terms of like, yes, Misery is awesome, but The Wailing is like a mind fuck.
Yeah, it really
It possibly has time travel. No.
Blake, if you're listening, think about what you said.
This is tough for me. Psycho, Raw. I'm going Raw.
I'm gonna go Raw too.
All right.
Yeah.
You know why? Because honestly, I feel like Psycho after the big reveal within an hour, I'm not that interested anymore.
I mean, I think Psycho's really good, but in terms of like anxiety or fear, or, uneasiness, that's what Raw makes me feel. I guess.
Halloween, Night of the Hunter. You made it this far, Night of the Hunter. Proud of you and all that, but come on. Really?
I think I'd go Halloween.
Yeah.
Who are you more scared of? Harry Powell or Michael Myers?
Oh, what the fuck? Suspiria versus Saw.
I'm going Suspiria.
I am too.
Hellraiser, It Follows.
I'm gonna go Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
All right.
All right. Down to the last bracket, we got The Thing
Final
versus
Destination. Okay, The Thing,
Is it-
obviously.
What? Wait, explain that.
Poltergeist, Hills Have Eyes. I'm going Poltergeist.
I'm gonna go Hills Have Eyes.
Poltergeist.
All right.
Nice.
Fuck!
Could you feel me death beaming you, Alvaro? I'm like, if you pick Hills Have
I
Eyes.
really like Poltergeist.
It got really hot in here all of a sudden. All right, well, have fun.
You feel that hole in the side of your neck from the lasers I just shot?
Have
into
fun
you?
doing this by yourself.
Okay, I do
lost me
think
at
that
Malignant, brother.
this is actually
You
probably the
lost me.
toughest of this second bracket. I think It and the Babadook,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go It.
and Train to Busan and the Empty Man.
It's the empty man. Oh my god.
He is an empty man. Okay,
All right.
so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're in the 16 round.
That was
So anything that makes it past this round
is in the Elite Eight.
is in the Elite
and you're
Eight
getting a
and it's
video.
getting its episode.
Fuck. All right.
So we need to be careful here because we're going to have to watch these
Yeah.
and analyze these and talk about them. So let's try to pick carefully here if we can. Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby. This is actually tough.
No, this is. I mean, I think The Exorcist, personally.
Ro?
Rosemary's Baby.
Oh,
You bid your ass on it, you
I thought he was going to just pick it. I'm like, okay, I don't have to say anything. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Are we talking Exorcist, the uncut version with like her walking down the stairs like a spider backwards? Because that's not in the original, and that's probably one of the scarier scenes.
You can throw it in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you remember it, so I feel like
I
you
mean, how
should,
could you
yeah.
not,
that's
dude?
No,
Yeah.
I remember it too.
I feel
I'm
like
not-
that is an iconic scene, and most people don't even know that that's the
Yeah.
extended cut, or that's the cut that was shown in theaters. I don't know actually. I'll get back to you on if that's true. Or not.
If.
But
All right, I'm gonna go Exorcist.
Exorcist?
But dude, Rosemary's Baby
That's really
is,
hard, dude.
Is more terrifying. Like if I had to put myself in the main character's body, I would not want to be Rosemary.
It's tough. Climax versus Malignant. Wow.
This is hard.
Malignant. That's my vote.
I already know what Rose's gonna say, and I don't want to be put in the middle.
That's why I just had to say it first.
I already wrote down Malignant, guys. So
Oh, okay.
Malignant.
All right, Malignant.
Damn, yeah.
This is gonna make Ro watch
It
Malignant.
really is, dude. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
You know what? I would like it if you don't like Malignant, so that we have to defend it on the show.
it's okay.
Okay. Silence of the Lambs, American Werewolf in London.
Sounds of the Lambs.
Okay.
You had a good run. You had a good run, American Werewolf.
Jeepers Creepers and the Wailing. Is this even a contest?
It's the Wailing.
Okay.
The Wailing, yeah.
Raw versus Halloween.
I'm gonna go Halloween.
Really?
I think so.
I was not expecting this.
I was expecting you to go Halloween, actually.
Wait, what did you say right
Halloween.
And then you said you were expecting him to go
I
Halloween?
wasn't expecting
you weren't
him to go
expecting
Halloween.
I really
'Cause
like Halloween.
yeah, I would go Halloween too.
All right.
Halloween.
We'll do Halloween. You know, Julia Ducournau is definitely going to have... You made it this far, Raw.
It's a good
but
run.
We're going to cover Raw.
I mean,
Come on.
that's a movie that came out within the last like 6 years. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah. Versus something that's almost like 50 years old.
Yeah. Oh, that's
As much
fun.
as we don't like the remakes, there's a reason there's a bunch of fucking remakes.
Yeah, true. All right.
Suspiria Hellraiser.
That's a good one.
Suspiria.
I think so,
I'm saying
too.
Suspiria.
I cannot wait to talk about that movie.
The Thing and Poltergeist. This is actually
Yo,
tough.
shut the fuck
This is
up!
actually tough.
Y'all are
it's
playing.
tough,
You are playing with me. It's The Thing, right?
Maybe with Possession.
Right?
I was like, you guys are playing, right? You guys are playing, right? Malignant versus Possession. All right. All right.
It and The Empty Man.
Yeah, dude.
I think The Empty Man.
You know what's crazy is that those... You know, I was saying that it is probably the only horror epic. I misspoke because The Empty Man is on this list, and it's an epic. And the fact that these two had to go up against each other, man, whoever put this thing together didn't think about that. Yeah.
This is where it gets really fucked up.
Okay, so let's lock these in because these are episodes coming that are going to be here. We have The Exorcist, Malignant, hell yeah, brother. Soul. It's because I have it written down as SOL.
Oh my
Silence
God.
of the Lambs, The Wailing, Halloween, Suspiria, The Thing, and The Empty Man. This is fun.
Yeah, I like those.
What a way to welcome a baby. Talking about these fucking 8 fucked up movies. But now we do have to pick a winner out of
We
these.
do. Damn.
This is just for fun, honestly. I don't really think that it really means
This is for
anything.
all the marbles, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Start in the top left.
Exorcist, Malignant,
The Exorcist.
of course.
Imagine.
I don't know, man.
Bro's like, I fucking quit, bro.
Like, yeah, I like Possession more than The Exorcist, so like, I was expecting Malignant here, not gonna lie.
Soul, just kidding. Silence of the Lambs and The Wailing.
I'm gonna go with The Wailing.
I'm gonna go with The Wailing as well.
Oh, whew.
Damn. What would you have said?
It doesn't matter. No, honestly, I don't have a preference between those two. I mean, have I seen Silence of the Lambs more? Yes, I have. But if I had been exposed to The Wailing in like my youth, would I have seen it more? Probably.
Yeah.
Halloween, Suspiria. I'm
going
gonna go with Suspiria.
Yeah, me too. Suspiria.
Sorry, Michael Myers.
All right, that takes us to
Nothing
wow.
in any of the Halloween movies. You could take every Halloween movie combined. Nothing is scarier than the climax of Suspiria.
For sure. Dude,
For real.
The Thing versus The Empty Man. Wow.
Yeah, it's The Thing, but
I think so too.
Okay.
Damn.
The Thing.
So good. All right. Wow. Final four. The Exorcist versus The Wailing and Suspiria versus The Thing. Holy shit.
Exorcist or The Wailing?
The Wailing. Yeah.
Do you know what she did?
And then we have Suspiria versus The Thing.
I'm going to go Suspiria. I'm going Suspiria.
I am too.
Actually, yeah.
Wow.
Dude,
That's
I did
crazy.
not expect this
Suspiria
to be how
rode
this-
it to
how
the
this-
fucking top, brother. Oh my god. And now we have The Wailing versus Suspiria for the finale.
I'm going Suspiria.
I'm going
The Wailing.
No way.
And the winner is
Wow.
The Wailing.
That's fucking awesome. That's so hard. South Korea. Wow. That's
So,
crazy.
We actually completed this a lot faster than I thought we would. It's barely been an hour, and we usually go longer than this. So is there anything on here you guys like can't believe made it this far? Is there
Malignant.
anything you want to say? I mean, Possession didn't really get its time, but
I mean, like,
Possession is sick as fuck.
I love Suspiria, like, a lot, but I'm surprised that we took it this far.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's a good thing, I think, but
this is the bracket, though.
Yeah.
This is what brackets do.
I think since we love the thing so much, it made it past here. But once it got put with the real horror movie, Suspiria's ending, like I do like the thing more than I like Suspiria. But in a horror bracket, Suspiria's ending is way scarier than anything in the thing.
I think so, too.
Dude, it's Suspiria's ending.
It's gnarly.
Well, obviously, we're going to save that stuff for the episode, but...
Yeah,
Bruh.
But then, and then I think the reason why The Wailing beats Suspiria is because The Wailing, the entire movie, is a lot.
yeah.
That's a lot.
I have a hard time kind of with the Wailing that why it doesn't get more love. Like, it gets a lot of love from people who know it, but some people think like it's okay. But I'm like, that movie was from the get go with me. I'm like, this is such a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Ro, I'm sure the movie you're the most upset about not making it is Possession, right?
Yeah.
Nate, do you have one where you're like, you can't believe it didn't make it?
I would have liked to see The Hills Have Eyes go past Poltergeist, but
Really?
Yup, 100%. I love that movie.
Okay, do you actually think that The Thing is scarier than Poltergeist?
Yeah, no, I actually
Yeah?
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't find Poltergeist to be that scary. I don't know.
I like
it
the
has
concept
its moments,
a lot, though.
and
That's
it's
why
like
I
it's
liked it a
overall
lot.
as a film it's phenomenal.
I think Poltergeist is like the most important like haunted house movie.
yeah, a lot of things stem from that.
I did think you guys were gonna go Raw instead of Halloween.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie. Yeah.
I thought about it, but I don't know. Halloween, it
I mean, Michael Myers has got to
to
be the most iconic horror character,
at least in our eyes, obviously. Yeah.
or I don't know. I think he is. Do I think he's the most terrifying? No, but he's Michael Myers.
It's the score. It's John Carpenter.
yeah.
It's the unrelentingness of Michael Myers,
It is.
dude. I mean, yeah, I do think that he's got to be. He's up there. I mean, I can't really think too many. Like, okay, yeah, Reagan from The Exorcist, right? Hannibal Lecter, but I don't want to I don't want to take my chances with Michael Myers, dude,
No.
because he gonna catch me. He always
He can't
catches
fucking
me.
die.
I mean, like I will say that I think overall Jason is a better killer, but the movies aren't better than Halloween.
Those movies suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th movies are really like the epitome of slashers.
Those are straight B movies
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy them, but in a different way.
You know, Michael Myers and Jason is like, Jason is bag Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a bag the way he gets
Yeah.
people. Michael Myers has just got that dog in him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, not this season, but this is like, would you rather have Giannis or James Harden? Like, all he does is run and dunk.
Yeah.
Like, all Michael Myers does is walk and stab.
Yeah.
Like, but Jason's got a bag, and he's got a lot of interesting kills.
And he goes to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Myers has yet to do that.
Not yet.
So I mean, Jason has he is cooler.
He wasn't
but-
even on
but his
this because we were
fucking-
talking about the first one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, just in terms of Michael Myers is more iconic because of that, and Freddy Krueger is too. But to me, those movies haven't aged really well. Maybe if they redo it.
Hey, you rewatched Freddy vs. Jason the other day, right?
Yeah, I did.
Don't you think it kind of like sucks that all you have to do is just not believe in Freddy Krueger and you win?
Yeah, and that's like, Looking back at that movie when when I first watched it, I used to really like it. And then when I rewatched it, I didn't remember how short it was. I'm like, really? Nothing happens here. There's no...
Freddy, you're talking about Freddy vs.
Yeah.
Jason? When my parents took me to go see that movie, and this is what do you remember what year it was?
2007. I'll look it up.
Dude, this is when people still lined up for movies. Like, I remember in my movie theater, the line went all the way down the hall and around the corner, almost out of the theater.
2003, my bad.
2003.
Wow.
I was young.
No, this was a crazy collab. I remember this was like Alien versus Predator, but better.
Yeah, Alien versus Predator came after this, too.
Mm-hmm. This is Hollywood was doing crazy shit. They're not good, but they're definitely. I can't believe they did it. Yeah.
A real cinephiles are like, well, actually, Abbott and Costello meets the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Not so original. You ever heard of Frankenstein versus Dracula? Oh man, I mean, there's a lot of good movies on this list. Honestly, It could have went either way with so many of these.
I really enjoy all these movies. Like, I really do.
28 Days Later,
There's none on here where I'm like, this is a dog shit movie. Well, except for Nosferatu. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. So, The Wailing, though.
I know. That's awesome. I actually think that's really cool.
Did you guys have ulterior motives? Did you think coming into this that The Wailing would win?
Didn't even think about it. Nope.
No.
Wasn't even in my radar.
I was like, oh, that'll probably win.
Yeah, no.
I honestly had no idea what I thought was going to win.
I kept thinking I didn't even think about it up until Exorcist beat Malignant, and then it was Silence of the Lamb and The Wailing. I didn't know if
Wait, Exorcist beat Malignant. You mean Malignant beat Possession?
No. I was gonna say like I didn't think I would ever end up comparing The Exorcist and The Wailing, and it's because The Exorcist beat out Malignant. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought honestly, when we first drew up this list, I thought The Exorcist and Silence of the Lambs were gonna be at that end, and it was Exorcist and The Wailing.
I think it's cool that we didn't have all the number ones go in the final four.
Yeah.
This is also like putting together a bracket was really hard because I was like, am I really going to put Silence of the Lambs and The Exorcist in the same bracket? Am I really going to put this one next to this one? So I do think that there was enough diversity that there's actually surprises here.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it is one tinker away. Like, for example, I was looking at if it was Night of the Hunter versus Elm Street gets passed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elm Street
That
versus...
sounds so funny, though.
It does.
And then Elm Street versus Halloween, like Halloween probably go, but it just changes stuff a little bit, There's some of them would have gone deeper had they had more favorable matchups, like in March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still just... How did Malignant not win? This was fun, dude. I would love to do something like this again, but not for a long time. Dude. The Wailing?
I know.
The Wailing.
No, it is. Honestly, like, I could argue that could be the best horror movie of all time.
Yeah.
You could totally make that argument. I'm not saying it is, but you could make that argument hardcore.
I thought maybe The Empty Man would sneak in here.
I was expecting that to be. I thought it might beat out The Thing, but I don't know, dude.
I would have picked The Empty Man. But I get it. Come on. AIDS is scary. Okay. Are you guys satisfied?
Yeah, no,
Do you
I
feel
am.
happy with this?
I am. I'm excited to do all those.
Are you as
movies.
happy as you can be, Ro?
Yeah. I was like, check into my channel. I'm doing Possession, bitch.
Follow me at The Real Ro. Okay. Dude. I'm just looking at all of these movies, and I've watched so many horror movies in preparation for this again. I think in the past 2 days, I watched like 8 or 9 movies.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of
I'm
these
pretty
too.
toasted on horror right now, but I'm excited to talk about these.
Now it's funny because all these ones are the ones that I didn't rewatch, and I'm gonna have to rewatch them. So.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yep.
For the most part,
Not
too,
mad.
it does feel like we picked... I mean, the staples made it pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that these are probably the horror movies that we talk about the most.
I would think so too. Damn.
Okay, guys. Are you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Damn, that's crazy. The Wailing.
I just feel like you could do a whole nother bracket of horror movies, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
still probably have seen most of them.
Yeah, no, we probably could.
We'll do the Shudder original bracket. Okay. Well, we'll decide the order of this off pod, how we're going to do this. But for the listeners, one last time, the 8 movies that we will be talking about during my leave of absence is The Exorcist, Malignant, Silence of the Lambs, The Wailing, The Empty Man, The Thing, Suspiria, and Halloween.
Nice.
I'm really happy with this.
I'm excited.
Actually.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, guys. So, like Nate said, hit all those buttons. Anybody got any final words?
Tell us what movie you wish we would have put on this list. I'm curious what you're upset about.
I apologize in advance for not including Texas Chainsaw, the original.
Dude, that would have won.
It probably would have made it pretty
It probably
far.
would have gone far.
But, all right. Any last words, guys?
No, I don't think so. That's fun.
Okay.
I like that.
Thank you for checking in for our first horror movie showdown, May Madness,
May Madness
et cetera, et cetera.
is over.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.